Welcome back. Before the break, we asked you to guess which of these pasta dishes contained the fewest calories and which one was healthier. Believe it or not, it's the pasta with all the fixins that's probably really better for you. Here to show us how she did it and why, and how to make your pasta dish healthier is registered dietitian Carol Lapin. Hello,
Good
Carol.
morning.
We have become so obsessed with trying to reduce calories on everything that we yank all this stuff out, thinking that we're doing ourselves some good, but we're also missing out on nutrition.
You are absolutely right. So I thought this morning we'd go over how to make a quick pasta dish that's very healthy, very nutritious, and give you some tips for getting more nutrition in, more volume for less calories.
Right, because here we go, these two plates right here.
Right.
One of them is pasta marinara. And we think, okay, I just had the pasta sauce and some good pasta. That's it. This one over here, you're going, oh no, I've added all this stuff, so that this is going to be way too much.
Right.
But not really. Let me start with, and stay on that shot right there, let me start with what a serving of pasta should look like. This right here.
That's 2 ounces. So on the box, when it says 2 ounces dry, it cooks up to 1 cup.
Okay, so that cooks up to this right here. Okay, so that's all that we should be serving ourselves. Now, I wish they would come in packets like this because I just dumped the whole thing in there, right?
You don't have your scale to measure it.
And we pile it on the plate. All right, let's talk about what you put into this pasta primavera dish that adds nutrients.
Okay, let's start with our iron skillet. And the reason I have an iron skillet here, Deborah, is because I can actually add 30% more iron to my dish because we have the acidity in the tomatoes. It's going to bring out the iron from the cast iron skillet, and it's going to add nutrition that way.
Okay, another way to get iron in your diet.
And so if you're going to make your own pasta, a real easy way to do it, Deborah, is to take your tomatoes, drop them in boiling water for just a couple of minutes, and look, Deborah, look how easy the skin peels away. You see that?
So in boiling water for a couple of minutes, and that makes it easier to...
you cut it around the world, as we call it, and then you just pop the seeds out.
All right, let me ask you this. Would you not leave the skin? We always hear so many times that you leave the skin on, you get more nutrition.
The fiber. Well, the reason you're taking the skin off is because the tomato is actually a fruit, so it has a waxy exterior. Now, you can leave it in, but it will affect the taste.
Okay, all right.
So that's why we're doing that.
Good to know.
Okay, so first of all, what we've done is we've taken our olive oil, Deborah, and notice this is a dark container because olive oil breaks down. So you keep it in a dark container away from the heat. We only put 2 tablespoons.
See, again, a lot of times we think we have to coat the whole thing. No, instead of coating it by pouring it, you can coat it by just...
and we've got a spray here. You can finish it off with a spray. So this is less than half the normal fat, Deborah. And so then we're just going to put in... we're going to do our saute, our garlic. We've got 4 garlics here.
Which we know garlic is great for you, but you mentioned it's half the normal fat, but at least olive oil fat is a good fat,
Absolutely, a monounsaturated fat. I'm going to put just a little bit of Splenda in here. Okay, and then I'm going to put in my tomatoes. And one thing that also went in here, Deborah, I'm using the red pepper flakes because I want to give it taste without adding salt. So that's going to do that. And then after I do that, I put in just a half a cup of wine. I'm going to cook that down.
Just a half a cup of wine?
Just you can have some wine with the dinner.
I was going to say, why are you being stingy with it?
Have some wine with the dinner.
Okay.
And then you're going to cook that down. So that'll cook for about 10 minutes till you have about half the wine left in it. So that's going to cook down.
Okay.
Okay. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the primavera.
Okay.
All right. And so the primavera is going to add... I'm going to add A, C, vitamin K, lots of volume, lots of fiber, for very few calories.
Vegetables.
Bringing vegetables, exactly. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to, again, I'm just going to use my spray in the pot, just like I did before, so it's a few less calories.
And this is Italian extra virgin olive oil spray.
Spray. We're going to do the spray. We'll do the garlic again. We'll saute that for just about, 5 minutes, and then we'll do, you're going to see those red pepper flakes again in the Splenda. And then I'm going to put it in all these wonderful vegetables, Deborah, and I am going to use my low-sodium broth. You want to pour that in? Just a low-sodium broth?
But you're so right about the fact that you can add all this volume to your meal to fill you up, one. But the other thing is that any one of these vegetables does not have a lot of calories, but just has the nutrients
it has the nutrients in it. Right, so we're going to get a lot good nutrition, a lot of volume, and we're going to use the low-sodium broth in place of a lot of oil. So again, we've substituted something for the oil.
Yeah, but that low-sodium broth will still give you a little bit of flavor, because that's where you get into trouble with all that salt.
Right, and so, Deborah, wouldn't you like to add a little omega-3 to that?
I think so, because we need some brain power.
Okay, so I'm going to sear some shrimp, and this is wonderful because because basically I'm going to use not my olive oil. I'm going to use my Smart Balance or something like that, grapeseed oil that has a higher smoking point, because I am going high heat here.
Right, so you don't want the oil to burn and stick, so you do this because it can handle it.
And I don't need much of it. I'm just going to move it around on the skillet.
And that's a great way of doing it. Again, not pouring it to try to cover everything, but using that right there, you just spread it around. Okay. I'm
going to use my little bit of Splenda blend again. I'm going to put that in there.
Just a tad to add a little sweetness to it.
I can do the red pepper flakes again if I want to add some more hotness, you know, there.
Right.
But basically what we're doing is we're going high heat. We're putting the shrimp on, Deborah, so that they don't touch. It's going to caramelize the outside.
Why should they not touch?
They'll end up steaming, okay?
And
the fluid in there will end up steaming. It's just going to be a minute on one side, and then take it off, flip it over, and let it finish caramelizing. So now we're going to have juicy, juicy inside with a nice caramelization on the outside.
And then we end up with the dish over here with the shrimp and the vegetables, and you can still have pasta, just all in moderation.
Right, and that's
only
it's only 50 calories for the marinara versus 100.